as a poet might say it, in a dream, I'm trying to translate some pretty advanced theoretical physics into popular language, so you have to understand where I'm coming from. All right, so then...
So how do we get around the arrow of time?
Okay, well, I just did, because what happens is the area at the alpha point is just one pixel. It's quantum gravity, so it's not a continuum, everything is finite. It's like a finite state machine. And then it grows to 10 to the 122 as the universe expands, because remember, space itself is a holographic projection from the surface. There's like this computational program that's going on the surface of this expanding thing. As it expands from the anti-gravitational repulsion, as it expands, it's getting more complicated. As it gets more complicated, it's smarter and smarter, and it's learning and learning, and becomes the mind of God, and it reaches its maximum development in the far future, and it projects back to create itself in a self-consistent loop. That's kind of the picture. Okay, so it explains why we age as space expands.
So are we already old, really, and we're just seeing ourselves?
No, I don't know. Well, I don't know what that means, really. There's what's called the blood. No, well, you can think of it like we're strips of film or something, frames of the film. Mm-hmm. The film is there. I don't know what you mean by really. That's a dangerous word, really. What's reality? You got to be careful. But there's a technical. You have to look at what are called space-time diagrams and special relativity theory, and it's called the block universe picture. And that's kind of
so like the future is coming in, and we're kind of aging as we comprehend it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, actually, it turns out there's going to be both. This will be both it's coming from actually both directions, because there are still efficient causes. There's still efficient causes, but the efficient causes are basically generated by the final cause. It kind of like loops back. It's kind of like a backwash, something like that. And there's actually, I'm not getting into too many technical details. Okay, so that's kind of the picture. The picture is that we are, and it's a crazy, as I said, okay, there's physicists tend to have a sense of humor. And at the highest, the theoretical physicists do at least. And, they used to, I don't know if they still do, but there was Niels Bohr and Wolfgang Pauli, the guys who created quantum mechanics in the 20s, and Werner Heisenberg and all these guys. And they were always arguing with each other. And Bohr once told Pauli, Pauli, I think, your idea is crazy, but is it crazy enough to be true? So there's that kind of thing, and this is a very crazy idea in the sense of it violates what people normally think. But of course, most of our discoveries in physics have been very anti-common sense, but they work. Unfortunately, atomic bombs explode. Computers work, airplanes fly. And you have to always remember that the real the moju there, the magic is physics. Everything's based on on Einstein's field equations, Maxwell's electrodynamics. It actually works. It enables us to control the material world to some extent, though we're not doing such a good job now, I guess. But so that's the picture. Okay, so I think I could. Well, here, let me just quickly go through the pictures, because
your consciousness don't forget.
Yeah, the consciousness. But this is your guys. This is your image, right?
Yeah.
So they got it. The Star of David. There is the white triangle. Is the future horizon. That's the mind of God. The hologram. Okay. And the black one is the past particle horizon. So there's the omega point. Why? I don't know why it's 3 pi. Why is it 3 pi? I would actually make it 4 pi because of what's called spinor theory. But that's okay.
Point on the screen, Jack. Can you point on the screen?
Yes. See, okay. Here's the alpha point of creation. Here's the omega point. It's actually infinite clock time, but it's a finite conformal time. And we're actually, we're inside that. We're caught between the two triangles, so to speak, the two horizons. Except I would, technically the two things meet, kind of thing. The triangles are not quite positioned correctly in terms of the physics, but it's good enough. It's close enough. And then we have.
It was 125 years ago.
Yeah, right.
They were a little
and here, here's basically Blake's picture says it all, right? There's God, and what is he holding? That's the future horizon. That's the hologram. And then okay, there it is. That's the mind. There's God's alive and well on the future horizon. Is what I would say. Nietzsche said God was dead. Nietzsche was wrong. He was depressed anyway. He had syphilis.
So Jack,
Yeah.
if we have intention, how does that impact the future horizon?
Well, does it? We have intent. That's a sticky wicket. She's asking about free will. Just wait. Well, let's skip the text. And that's the computer. And that's just an image like we're inside the horizon. I forget where I got that from. There's also that great thing with a person knocking through the. That's Celtic, right? Yeah. That's Irish, right? Oh yeah, I was in Dublin. I saw all those Celtic things. Yeah, that's Ireland. And then we. And this is all. Here was going to play, the magic flute, the Zabra flute, and this is Zaraastro. It sounds like Sarfatti a little bit. And here it's like an image. See, we're at the center, so to speak. Yeah, it's a very strange thing because I glossed over that. It turns out in these solutions, the future horizon is what's called observer dependent. So technically, everyone has their own. But I mean, it's so big and we're so close together, it's the same one. But technically speaking, it's like almost like the Leibniz monads, So if you're all in this little bubble, right? George Bush was in his bubble. Well, I was in a bubble. It's okay. So that's kind of symbolic. But this is like a picture of the future horizon, figuratively. That's from a magic flute. I guess I forget who's. Okay. Now this. Here is a pie chart. There's the dark energy, 73%. That's the anti-gravitational field. That's accelerating the rate of expansion of the universe. This is the dark matter, like the galactic halo. That's pulling in. Now, the dark matter acts on small scales because it's attractive. Things clump. And since the dark energy is repulsive, everything tends to spread out. So the dark energy dominates the large-scale structure of the universe. The dark matter dominates the small-scale structure, and it has to actually do with the way galaxies form and the way stars actually form.
But aren't they saying that now that the dark matter is much, much greater?
No, there it is. The dark energy is 73%, dark matter is 23%, and we are like, in that little atom spot, he is like 4%. That's it. That's the way. Those are the facts, man. Just the facts.
That's the latest.
This is the latest. This is the latest. Anything you read to the contrary, either you're misreading it or the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But that's it. And then now this is the data from Berkeley. From this data, it's detailed. I mean, it's complicated. From this data, they found that the universe was accelerating. That's from supernovae data. And this is a computer simulation of pockets of dark, actually the red patches. This is from NASA, like Creon Levitt, does this kind of thing. The red patches show where the dark matter is. I mean, it's just a computer thing. And then this diagram here shows about 4 different experimental techniques of measuring various key parameters of this picture, and they all converge kind of here. They all converge here. So that's why we have confidence that different experimental methods are all getting the same numbers. So it's a kind of truth there, it's an objectivity. That's why we have confidence that this is actually not so crazy an idea, okay? And then, this is here's the alpha point. It's just a visualization, how to visualize the creation of the universe. And look what he has at the end of the thinker, the Rodin's thinker. That's the mind of God, the cosmic consciousness. But the cosmic consciousness is projecting back in like final causation, teleology, projecting back. And we are actually images of it. We are actually computations, so to speak. I mean, it's pretty hard to. This is computation. It seems pretty solid, But that's the idea. I mean, these are the ideas that are floating around. Physicists are crazy, but are they crazy enough to be true? Isn't it? So. Okay. Well, this is the original. I won't go. But this is the original Wheel of Feynman picture from 1940. It's in a paper by John Kramer, who's a physicist today, and it's from his papers. But I won't go into all the details. But if anybody was interested, just Google John Kramer transactional interpretation of quantum theory, and I think that's. Let's see. I think that's. Oh, and the Freemason symbol again, past the rise of beauty. And it's interesting. They have G. Either for God or gravity. Newton's constant is G. So there's a Freemason symbol. And so they all have these triangles, right? They have two triangles. So The triangle going down, that's the future, and triangle going up is the past. And that's actually